Welcome to TOC meeting of June 17th. Let's review action items from last week. Chris Clark, does the TOC have viewer access on all GCP accounts?
I think so. I pinged Shah and to request that and to make sure that the Karifi team had access. And I believe that everyone, all of the project leads and the TOC has access to all of the GCP accounts.
Okay, thank you.
That's the way it's set up. So it's not, I mean, I initially envisioned it as granular and like the project leads would be able to see their account and not others, but there's no real problem with having everyone see everything, I don't think. Like, you know.
I hope we just our project leads.
So I believe, yeah, So I believe you should have all have access, but please double check that and get back to me if that is not the case.
Okay. I'll move Beyhan's. Nope. Okay. There we go. And that's done reviewing action items. Let's review our community board. Inactive users to be deleted. It's finally time. It's been 2 weeks. I looked, no one has yelled anything. So I'm going to approve. And wait for the other green check boxes. Ruben, can you approve from your phone?
Yeah, I'm trying, but I verbally approve.
Do you want me to wait or do you want me to just do it?
Yeah, just go ahead, do it.
Okay.
I verbally approve. It should also be recorded. It's fine.
That's enough for me. Okay. Done. RFC. There's the service credential binding rotation for apps. Looks like Greg really let his feelings be known about it. Lots of conversation in here. Is there any conversation you want to bring up, Stephan, or just keep having it on the PR?
We can have it on the PR. I haven't yet read
Okay.
Greg's comments, so yeah, need some time for it.
There's many.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe I'll move this to in progress. RFC status. Is there any RFC anyone would like to talk about? Okay.
There is one I would like to talk about. It's an old one. I was thinking we like it's almost 2 years ago, I guess, that we approved the branch protection one. That has been implemented, but I think adoption has been slow. And I was thinking, do we maybe want to go for opt-out instead of opt-in by now?
Let me try to find this one. What do I want?
But we thought about same defaults, and it still happens that there's like branch protection rules that you need to go manually in to tweak things, and it not working. And it's like, if we would just have that by default, it would have worked, right? Like so. And then maybe we can also start recording reasons why people don't or cannot use it, right? So it's opt out with like maybe a time limit and a reason or something, right? Something more, I don't know, less free. It's currently a bit too open, I think.
I think it's on working group level, right? The opt-in. So I know Ari is using it, foundational infrastructure, I guess, then as well, right?
No, we are not. So we are bad.
Okay, that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
I think we can look into the manual branch protection configuration, and all the working groups that show up there, they probably use it. And if you don't show up there, you don't use it because the CI repos must be excluded. And yeah, we have the rules for that.
Yeah, Wait, yeah, I mean, you can override individual repos.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
amenable to that, to turning it on. And then everyone will freak out for a week and we'll figure out which ones we need to change.
Yeah, I think that's good, right? So should that be an RFC where we swap the default?
Do we mention it in here? Maybe it's like an update to this RFC. It doesn't.
No, I think it's mentioned there.
Yeah, maybe you can just explicitly add it to this RFC.
Yeah,
Say
I'll
it'll be
think
on by
so.
default, and then we can approve it as a PR.
Yeah, the change is minimal. I just need to know when to do it, and then
Yeah.
that's easy.
Yeah, and what do you feel about like opt out, explicit, but like a time limit duration thing, like starting to record that more formally?
What do you mean?
So like maybe there's good reasons why certain repos cannot have it, right? But then at least we want that recorded somewhere. So like if they want to get excluded, then they need to raise a PR, have a place where they edit a file, and then they are excluded at a per repo level.
Repo level, okay. Oh,
Isn't there already a per repo level way of doing it, of opting out?
I think it's per.
No. First, there is this configuration switch per working group where you say the working group wants to participate, and here we want to change the default. We could, of course, here say you do not. It's not a binary anymore, but there will be a date inside, and then until the date or with the date, the switch changes to true. Then you are in. And if you need for single repositories, so if on the working group level branch protection is on, you can take your repos and add them to the branch protection YAML file in order to exclude them or to modify the rules for branch protection. So that is in place. So then you have per default everything on, and you can exclude single repositories permanently because this is reviewed, this is a PR, and usually the CI repos come in. Or people who want to have GitHub Actions special checks, they also need to tweak it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, exactly this.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so we basically go on by default. There's no need for anything with a time. We can just enable it for everybody, and then like if they need certain like different things, then they can already go through this file.
I assume that if we added like a key here that's like why or reason and told people they needed to, explain why, that wouldn't break anything.
You would need to do it as a comment, I guess, because the format here is dictated by the branch protection tool.
Oh, so it might get mad if there's a key that it doesn't recognize.
I guess so, yeah.
Might, yeah.
It copies simply over and then adds or this overrides any thing that would be generated. But so you have with this format, you have all the possibilities that are available in this branch protector tool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see here.
But we can blame, and then you see the PR, and in the PR should be some documentation if you want to look at that.
Justification, yeah. Then maybe we need an issue or PR template or something for that.
That'd be a good idea. Yeah.
Right, to help them request such an exception.
Yeah, I like that idea. Are you signing yourself up for a action item?
Allegedly.
In the PR you would need to edit this file, right? So it's
that's
that's difficult with a real good template. It's not just a
no, it's a PR.
But it could point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Update RFC make PR template.
Yeah, there's no PR template, right? There's only an issue template. That's the problem.
Oh, they should make PR templates.
Yeah, an issue doesn't help.
Yeah.
It would mean that we have to
No.
implement
That we
it
do
and
it, yeah.
nope.
No, so it's probably going to be in documentation. Maybe it can even be in the RFC.
There's a
right?
README in this
Yeah.
org which explains on a technical level what can be done and which files you have to edit.
And
Okay.
document. Let's
Okay.
turn on branch protection always at the working group level.
That makes sense.
Good idea. Any other IFCs that we want to talk about? Chris, I think yes, that's what we're saying. That just a PR with a documented PR. Issues, none of these look new. Any issues anyone wants to talk about? Okay, let's go to any other business. Elections. Oh my goodness, is the PR
Yeah.
open? Go for it, Chris.
So this was pretty easy this year because we had we had 3 qualified candidates for 3 spots in the TOC. Likewise, we had 2 qualified candidates for 2 spots in the Pichetto Steering Committee, which means we don't actually need to run a vote. And things are pretty well determined. So yeah, I opened this pull request with the results. If there's no opposition here, I think we can just declare that Stephan, you are hereby reelected to the TOC.
But wait, we don't know the relative
We don't know who's most
popularity.
popular.
Yeah,
the
no.
You know who's most
popularity
popular.
right?
You still want the Ruben Beyhan vote from
Yeah, exactly. I just want to remember that was last year again.
Well, yeah. So we're not going to do that because it's more work. And it's silly. It's quite silly. So yeah, this means that Stephan, you're reelected. It means Amelia, you'll be stepping down. That makes me sad. But Greg Cobb is obviously a fine replacement. And then Chris will be replaced with Chris.
Welcome, congrats, Chris.
Quick question, Chris, who's here. I don't foresee this, but I know that Chris had issues with getting approval last time around. I assume you don't really foresee that to be an issue.
We're back in the asking for forgiveness rather than approval.
Yeah, I mean,
on the
there's
org, so
a clear precedent here, so I assume you should have an easier time than he did last time. So, obviously let us know if there's any problems, but we'll assume that you can sort that out.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you and welcome. And then
Congratulations.
yeah.
Thank you.
And then on the Pichetto side, Daniel ran again and is hereby reelected. And Jericho Pena is also going to be on the steering committee. Forrest will be stepping down. So I'll reach out to them and, of course, confirm all this with them. With the way I had the schedule set up, we were going to announce this on the 26th. So I would say if we want to make this officially start, so not next week, but the week after that. So on July 1st would be the first TOC meeting, wherein we'd have this new TOC. Sound good to everybody?
What, say the date again? July
1st.
July
So
1st. Okay.
So we'd have one more TOC meeting next
Yep.
week with the current lineup, and then after that, some sort of pomp and ceremony, some sort of cupcakes. I don't know what.
Virtual cupcakes.
Cool. So yeah, next week we'll have this as usual, and then on the 1st we'll have our new class of TOC reps.
Great. Do we need to approve this? Do you just do your thing?
Nah, I mean, if there's any objections, go for it. I mean, object away. But I think it's clear. No, you don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, you don't need to vote on this. You don't need to vote to certify the results or anything.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you want to talk about CFD Europe?
Yeah, for sure. or Ram can talk about that too, but basically the CFP closes on June 29th. That's coming up pretty soon. And we don't have very many submissions yet, but I'm not worried. We always do, and they always come in the last week. So, but yeah, we'll be promoting that more now because now's the time when if people haven't thought about their CFP submission, they should. And then also we'll be forming a program committee, and Ram is in charge of that.
Yeah, I'll send out some emails and stuff officially about looking for people, but this group has been very kind to the community in the past. So if folks are interested, let me know or fill the form, whichever way works.
Great, thank you. Any other thoughts on CFD Europe? Okay, Slack discussion.
Yeah, so I started this conversation. I was at a conference all last week, so I haven't really dug into that too much, but basically I just wanted to bring this up again. Maybe we can make this an item for next week's and really dig into it a little bit more. But basically, yeah, we're spending $5,000 a month on Slack, which is a lot. And we'd like to stop doing that, but moving to the free plan has some downsides, and we don't have a clear like migration plan to something else. And if we do find something else, like LFIT is working on something with a platform called Zulip, but like the pain of migrating everything to another platform, I don't know the details of that, but it doesn't sound fun. So yeah, we can, basically there's, I think, 3 real options here. We keep paying for Slack and get the governing board to approve that. We go to the free Slack plan and lose a lot of old data and some other privileges, or we migrate this data off and then to some other platform or some sort of searchable wiki, right? And then either move to this new platform or stay on free Slack, but we have the archives somehow archived. So none of these are great.
Didn't we discuss about the option to reduce the number of people? I don't know if that has an impact on the cost. I don't know the cost structure of Slack, but
yeah, I mean that is definitely an option. So I mean, part of the reason why Slack is inappropriate for open source software is every time someone joins and like spams things, we get charged for it, which is lame. So we could limit Slack to just the like core devs, and it would be a lot cheaper. But it's not very.
Could use contributors, right? Would be the right, because there's a formal process. You have to show a bit of interest. It has disadvantages.
Yeah,
that's clear.
It loses the inclusive nature of this wider
definitely.
community. So it essentially becomes like the CFDev mailing list kind of that core.
We could also do both, right? We could set up a new system for the inclusiveness with discussion and keep the history with just for the contributors and see how it goes, and then in the long run think about a migration path. I mean, even if we migrate the content, all the links are dead, so you are losing anyway a lot.
Yeah, right. So that's
just an idea.
Yeah, that is possible. Okay. Yeah, I do wonder what the cost then would be for that. Like what actual number of contributors would we get down to there?
So from the discussions in the ARI working group, the real value is actually in the history, and if that one is lost, no matter way, with archiving, without archiving, it doesn't matter so much. Then this is gone, and then.
Yeah, so I don't have an answer here or even really a suggestion at this point, but I just we thought we should touch on this a little bit now and try and have, like, we should have a plan in place this summer, right? And because in the meantime, we're spending money and we need to do something here, unless the governing board decides we can keep spending that money, but it's really a significant amount. That's like $60,000 a year, and for the like revenue of the Cloud Foundry Foundation, that's just a whole lot to be spending on a messaging app. And
Yeah.
Slack has not been reasonable about this, so we're not going to be able to go back and have them,
No.
you know, basically they doubled their prices like a year and a half ago, without saying that they doubled their prices. And it was sort of a kind of a bait and switch. It's not ideal. But we've been working through this with other LF projects, and all of the LF is going to either move to free Slack or something else.
Yeah. I feel like all options suck. Maybe we need ranked choice voting. We can all just pick the least bad option.
Yeah, and
Because I feel like we could talk forever about the downsides of all of these.
yes. So anyway, I'll dig into this a little bit more in coming weeks, and hopefully we can drive this forward. But because you know, if we're going to make one of these painful decisions, we should do it sooner rather than later, just because it's costing money in the short term. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any other business anyone wants to bring up?
And there was some other open source tool that was being discussed, I believe, in that Slack thread, and someone was gonna look into it. Was it Matrix or something?
Yeah, Element Matrix.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I think there was a migration tool for Slack as well, but it was about like, can we host it on Cloud Foundry, right? Like that I think was the question.
That would be very cool. We'd have to do that in the community or in the TOC level. So it's just
I thought
it's going to be some extra work. But
yeah, what was his what's his name? The Steve Greenberg, right?
Yeah.
He does IT stuff. I thought he was gonna look into if that's even feasible, like if that
Okay,
could be
yeah,
hosted.
I'll circle back. I need to connect with Steve too. I haven't talked to him in a bit. So yeah, I'll check with Steve. And if there is something that we can do like this and self-host. Again, this is, you know, do we migrate off of Slack, which is painful, or do we just move the history somewhere so it's searchable? You know, yeah, whether it's
Yeah,
element.
but I mean, like anyway, you need a tool, right? You need a tool
Right.
to. I mean, you can do a download of an archive of everything, but still, you need to put it somewhere in a format that's searchable. And I think there was a migration tool for Matrix from Slack to Matrix.
Yep. Okay.
So, and like, I think it only needs a Postgres database, which I believe we have in that NE9 CF org. So that could be a relatively easy thing to host. Like if we can push it onto CF.
Cool. Yeah, well, I'll touch base with Steve on this. And I guess maybe we'll touch on this in next week, or maybe we won't have anything kind of clear at that point. But in the next month or so, we should try and move this conversation along.
Thank you, Chris. Anything else? Okay, good seeing you all. Happy Tuesday.